Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Here's a look at some headlines we're following. Longtime Democratic Chautauqua County Election Commissioner Norm Green is stepping down from office after 21 years of service. Green tells us he doesn't call it retirement, but rather says he's moving on. While he is not able to discuss what his future holds because of his current position, Green explained that he is very proud of the accomplishments he and his staff have had during his tenure.
At election meetings, they ask, how do they do it? We just do it. I mean, it's not a formula. It's a matter of getting the work done. And, you know, probably the proudest moments are going to election commissioners' conferences and people circling around and asking, how do you do this? How do you make it happen? What do you do to solve this problem?
As for what he says he's most proud of, Green says it's not being the center of media attention after an election day debacle. Not that errors don't happen, but as Green revealed, he and his staff have always been able to solve issues without throwing the election into chaos. He says management skills are an essential part of the job, with as many as 500 election inspectors, 49 polling sites, 100 voting machines, and a $1 million budget. Well, New York State has been approved for funding to give unemployed people an additional $300 on top of their unemployment benefits. FEMA's administrator approved New York for a grant under the Lost Wages Assistance Program. The grant funding will allow New York to provide additional unemployment due to the pandemic. FEMA will work with New York Governor Andrew Cuomo to implement a system to make the funding available to New York residents. Also, Pennsylvania will nearly get $1.5 billion to provide an extra $300 a week to eligible unemployed workers. Payments will also be made to eligible claimants retroactively from August 1st. Well, the First Lady and the nation's top diplomat were among those making the case for another term for President Donald Trump last night. Karen Caifa is in Washington with a recap of the highlights from the second night of the Republican National Convention.
Melania Trump, a reluctant campaigner, making a case for her husband.
Just as you are fighting for your families, my husband, our family, and the people in this administration are here fighting for you.
The First Lady's speech, part of a convention outreach to women voters, particularly in suburban swing districts. Also speaking Tuesday night, making an appeal to young voters, the president's daughter, Tiffany Trump.
My father has made me believe that America can truly be great again.
President Trump again appeared multiple times, including presiding over a naturalization ceremony and announcing the pardon of John Ponder, a convicted bank robber who now works to help the formerly incarcerated reintegrate into society.
John's life is a beautiful testament to the power of redemption.
Another headliner, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who touted Trump's foreign policy record in remarks taped in Jerusalem.
President Trump has put his America First vision into action. It may not have made him popular in every foreign capital, but it's worked.
Pompeo's speech has drawn scrutiny and criticism for its departure from State Department protocol and prompting a House Democrat to look into whether he violated the Hatch Act, which prevents federal employees from engaging in partisan politics while on duty. In Washington, I'm Karen Caifa.
Karen, thank you. Republicans also showcased Trump's signing of criminal justice reforms, an issue on which the GOP had resisted moving in prior administrations. Well, back here at home, another aquatic invasive species has been found in the Chautauqua Lake outlet. The Chautauqua Lake and Watershed Management Alliance announced this week the invasive water chestnut could negatively impact the health and usability of the water by forming large mats of fast-growing plants that alter the water's chemistry and clarity. Now, the plants have small triangular leaves which grow between 2 and 4 centimeters wide and form on the surface of the water. Small white flower blooms in July and persist throughout the summer, producing seeds about 3 centimeters in length which contain sharp barbs. The seeds are painful to step on and can attach to waterfowl and animals, which spreads the plants around the area. So far this month, more than 100 plants have been removed from the lake. Now, prior to 2019, the last time water chestnut was detected locally was in 2015. We get a check of our First Defense weather forecast right after this.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
I grew up in a single-parent home. We were raised by my mom in a one-bedroom apartment in Queens, and I slept in what was supposed to be a dining room just off the kitchen. We were poor and fell behind in our bills. More than once, our electricity was shut off and there were eviction notices taped to our door. I remember walking into our kitchen and finding my mother standing by the stove, crying to herself because she didn't know what to do and felt helpless. I was about 9 or 10 when our apartment was robbed. I remember arriving home with my mother and brother and finding the door open, feeling confused because the first thing I saw was that our television, a set which forever sat on a stand in the living room, was missing. I know firsthand what it's like to be a victim, to be assaulted, robbed, to have things taken from you which you're never going to get back, and to be scarred by experiences which 30 and 40 years later still haunt me. We're lucky enough to live in Chautauqua County where by and large we feel safe, but unfortunately bad things do happen here. I want to be the district attorney who personally prosecutes the most serious crimes and who's there for victims every step of the way. These are the people I want to represent, to fight for their justice, to fight for our justice in the courtroom, to help people who have suffered at the hands of others. This is why I want to be your district attorney.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
All right, welcome back. And hey, yesterday's high was 77 degrees, and you know, the humidity was up a little bit yesterday, and of course we started the day at 58. Look at those records, 93 and 34. Of course, we're going to be nowhere near those today. So through the afternoon today, partly to mostly sunny on average through much of the day. Now, as we get into the later part of the afternoon into this evening, that's when we're going to get into the scattered showers and thunderstorm chance. And again, some of those could be strong to severe, and the main threats are going to be gusty winds, 74 to 82. And look at the sunset, 8 o'clock on the dot. So yes, the days are getting shorter. Sorry. Hey, baseball tonight up in Buffalo. Are you ready? Here it comes. Bam! There goes that baseball here. So it's the Blue Jays versus the Red Sox up in Buffalo today. Unfortunately, there's going to be rain, of course, in the forecast tonight. So again, we may see the tarps, and it may actually be either delayed or postponed because, as you see, we have a few showers and thunderstorms. But temperatures, if the game can go on tonight, temperatures 74 down to 69 through the day. All right, let's take a look at the severe weather outlook. So the SPC maintains that slight risk across much of the southern tier and, of course, northwestern Pennsylvania. This is for later this afternoon into tonight, and the SPC has us under a slight risk again for tomorrow. And if you peek a little bit further to the east, there's actually a level 3 out of 5 for parts. There's basically a level 3 out of 5 for the eastern portion of Allegheny County going out into central New York. That's where the highest severe weather parameters will be. But again, we do have a chance for severe storms through the day tomorrow. So we'll show it to you on modeling. Newest run of Future Scan shows you the afternoon mainly dry. As we get into the later afternoon, you see a few of those storms bubbling up from place to place. Those will continue through the afternoon and especially into the night. Tomorrow looks like it'll start dry, but showers and thunderstorms will start to come our way north to south tomorrow. Interesting direction. So north to south tomorrow in the later afternoon. And again, any one of those could be strong to severe with gusty winds, heavy rainfall, and maybe some hail. And then those will ultimately go to bed for Thursday night. And then more storms look like they'll fire on Friday. But the severe weather threat for Friday is much lower. Tropics, let's take a look at Hurricane Laura. It is now the first major hurricane of the season, Category 3 with 125-mile-per-hour winds. This thing is a monster. Take a look at the satellite imagery. That is weather porn. If you're a weather nut, that is a thing of beauty to look at right there. And here's the forecast track from the National Hurricane Center. It has it going up to Category 4 status at 145 miles per hour, likely tonight before it makes landfall somewhere near Texas. That is somewhere near the mouth of the Mississippi River. So again, that is going to be a major problem for the Gulf Coast states. But our concern is going to be as it rides up basically through the East Coast later in the weekend, we could see some tropical moisture ultimately as it moves out into the Atlantic Ocean. So something we're going to keep an eye on, especially Friday night and Saturday. Could see some tropical moisture from the remnants of Laura. 7 days down the road we go. 76 today, 83 tomorrow. Again, both today and tomorrow highlighted in red just to show you the severe potential. A few storms on Friday, 78. Again, the remnants of Laura possible. Saturday, 74. Look at Sunday, 70 degrees. Some spots may not even make it out of the upper 60s, especially in the valley locations. 74 Monday, 76 Tuesday. We stay mainly dry throughout the first part of next week.
Dakota, thank you. That's it for our update today. We remind you we will be returning to normal programming come next week once we move into our new studio and office space. In the meantime, we'll be back here tomorrow at noon with a check of local news headlines. Hope to see you then.